Hey you guys, welcome to a Miseducated Rambler video. My name is Pulani Dube, but YouTube prefers to call me Miseducated Rambler. So welcome. In today's video, we are discussing two conditions that are commonly misunderstood or are sometimes used as though they're the same thing, right? So just like with the epilepsy and seizures versus seizures video that I've done in the past, we're doing the same thing today with allergies and food intolerance. So we're shining a light on these two conditions so that you're able to understand how different they are. So that next time you don't have a certain presenting symptom and assume that you have an allergy, or vice versa, you assume that you have food intolerance. Okay, so I hope this video will be helpful for you today. So let's start off by explaining what an allergy is, right? So an allergy is a harmful immune system driven reaction. So a reaction driven by the immune system. I need you to highlight the immune system, okay? The immune system is involved here, right? So it is a harmful immune system driven reaction to an otherwise harmless substance. So in this video, we're talking food. So an otherwise harmless food substance. So in short, what I'm saying is it's a dramatic reaction that your body has to something that isn't that deep. It isn't that serious, basically, right? And I don't mean to be insensitive, okay? I'm not being insensitive, just being tongue in cheek and just trying to explain so that you can understand, right? Because I know how dangerous and how scary an allergic reaction can be. Just take what I say with a pinch of salt sometimes. I'm not being that serious. Anyway, to give you a quick analogy on exactly what I'm talking about, because I love analogies. Imagine that there is a mansion or a house, and this house is filled with a security system, right? Or say, okay, let's say this is our house, this is our mansion, you and I, and we've hired the security system, personnel, even the army maybe is there, and yeah, it's really, there's a tight security system in our mansion. And then one day a baby crawls into the house, into our mansion. All of a sudden, the security system personnel misidentifies this baby as a threat, right? And launch an attack on the baby. This is just an example, guys. It's just an example. I'm not advocating for child endangerment or whatever. So the army launches an attack on the baby, but in the process, everything goes to ruins. The house is a mess. It's ruined, right? So think of that in the same way with allergies, right? So this harmless food substance comes into your body, and then all of a sudden you start having hives, which are like red, itchy swellings that you could have, right, in your body. You itch a lot, you know. So I'm talking about the symptoms now, right? These are the symptoms that for you to be able to recognize that you're having an allergic reaction, right? So you have these hives, swelling, which can also occur in your airway. That's why an allergy is life-threatening, because if there's swelling in your airway, that means you're not able to breathe. And if you don't get help in time, then yeah. Right. So yeah, I've covered what it is and the symptoms in that, right? Now let's go into what food intolerance is. So with food intolerance, we're talking a digestive issue, right? This is a digestive issue. A particular system in the body is being affected, right? So when you take something, right, and then your digestive system reacts in a way that causes bloating, you get gas, etc., etc. And the reason why this is happening is because your body doesn't have certain enzymes that are needed to break down certain food components, right? So if you know, so you would know that, for example, protein requires amylase, right? Protein requires amylase to break it down. If amylase is not there, then you're going to experience discomfort, right, in your digestive system. Another one would be the common one that people know, lactose, right? If you lack lactase, which is the enzyme required to break down that sugar, lactose, then you will experience the bloating. What else do they experience? The nausea, vomiting, I guess, um, diarrhea, and so it is particularly with the digestive system. So if we're going to go back to and having an analogy, using an analogy, then you can imagine a factory that deals with making cars, for example. And say, because you know how it is, right? There's a lineup. The following level in the process requires that the previous one has done its work, it's done its job, so that everything can keep moving smoothly, right? So if a particular specialization unit, specialist, they miss out on maybe putting in the wheels of the car, and that would mean that everything else becomes a mess. If it continues, it's a mess, it's mayhem. The car comes out looking weird, whatever. Or the process is slowed down, everything stops because we need the wheels, right? So it's the same thing with your body. If an enzyme that is required to break down lactose is not there, then your digestive system is going to have that reaction where now these things, the food is not passing through the tract the way that it would in a proper way. I hope you understood. Yeah, I really did a big one. I tried with those analogies. Okay, let's move on to the next part of this video. If I haven't mentioned it already, with food intolerance, this condition is not life-threatening in the way that an allergy reaction would be, right? Because there's no swelling that goes on in your air pipe with an intolerance to a particular food, right? Alrighty, so let's move on to the common triggers that are involved. Triggers that, something that would trigger an allergy or something that would trigger food intolerance, right? So according to the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration in the US, they say that there's a group of foods that is referred to as the Big Nine, which are the major contributors to allergic reactions. Okay, so the Big Nine consists of milk, eggs, peanuts, tree nuts, wheat, soya, fish, shellfish, and sesame. Okay, so that's the Big Nine. Those are the foods that most people would say, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to shellfish, I'm allergic to peanuts, right? Okay. And then there's the exception, right? There's a condition called alpha gal syndrome. Now, this one is interesting. Alpha gal syndrome, right? This condition is caused by a bite that you get from a tick. This tick is found in the US and it's called a Lone Star tick. Wait for it. Just wait for it. What happens after you get this bite is you will become, or you will be forced to become allergic to a carbohydrate sugar molecule that is found in red meat. Like, what in the vegan vernacular is going on? I don't know about you, but do you know that there was a bug that could bite you and turn you into a vegan involuntarily? Like, wonders shall never cease. Anyway, I can say I'm not laughing. So yeah, there's literally a bug that can make you vegan. Anyways, there is a light at the end of the tunnel for those of you that have been bitten, okay? This can be resolved in 1 to 5 years. This condition can be resolved in 1 to 5 years because your immune system can gradually recover, can gradually forget about this allergy, this allergy. You can gradually forget about it, right? And it's only dependent on you not getting that tick bite ever again. So if you get bitten again, then it's back to square one, back to zero. We reset the whole thing. You're going to have to wait again for your body to recover. So yeah, that was very interesting. When I came across that, I was so shocked. I will put a picture of the tick so you can beware. Apparently, it's becoming a global thing. Yes, the tick is found in the US, but yeah, it's becoming a thing. Then let's move on to what the triggers for food intolerance, right? So I'm sure you know these ones. These ones are the people that are intolerant to gluten and people that are intolerant to lactose. I happen to be the people that are lactose intolerant, and yes, we are very problematic. We don't listen. If I want ice cream, I want ice cream. You can't tell me anything. Okay? But we will get into more about like how you can be careful when it comes to how to avoid certain foods and with allergies. Yeah, just what is it called? How to treat your condition. Yeah. Okay, so with the triggers, you should know about the amount that can cause a trigger, right? So what I'm saying is, when it comes to allergies, even the tiniest amount of a particular food substance, some people say they are not even able to tell where they came across an exposure. Like, what can I say? It could be the tiniest amount of food. Like with a peanut, it could be just the slightest, smallest little piece of a peanut that could get you a reaction, right? But with food intolerance, this one is dose dependent. Okay, so the amount of food that you take will can directly affect how you react to that particular food, right? That's why with the treatment, like I was about to say, we're gonna get into it. With the treatment, it would usually mean that you have to be restrictive of how much you eat this particular thing that you love so much, like me with ice cream. Yeah. Okay, so I realized just how long this video is going to take. It's going to take way longer than I wanted to take. So I'm going to make a part 2 just now. The part 2 will be on the treatment, okay? How to treat allergies and how to treat food intolerance. So see you on the other side. Bye.